Washington Capitals, but nothing matters now. Overtime is next. Here's Ron MacLean.
Well, Bob, my advice to you is to go and get lots of pop and take a break, because what an action-packed third period. It results in a tie, 2-2 after 60 minutes and 3-piece after 7 games. Mike, what are your thoughts?
Well, I got a headache watching the third period. It was some period. There was a lot of action. I kind of figured, though, that something was going to happen good for us, because Washington was just laying back. They weren't forcing anything until we scored the goal, and then they got their chances, and Kelly made some great stops.
It shows how well you've done at this game that I take for granted. Everybody knows you're Mike Bossy. They miss you, obviously, but you must be impressed with a sidekick coming through with a clutch goal to tie it up.
Well, everyone knows that Brian never quits. He has injuries, but he's out there giving his best. And throughout the series, I think since we've been down 3-1, Pat LaFontaine, Mikko Makela, and especially Kelly Rudy, who again tonight has made some fantastic stops, have come through for us.
What's your status?
Well, I'm day to day. I've been saying that for the whole year because of my back situation and now because of my knee. But I hope to be back in the lineup sometime during the next series, hopefully sooner than later.
You have been in a lot of great games. I recall a couple of seasons ago, Hockey Night in Canada couldn't find a game in Canada, so they went to New York to cover Game 5 of the preliminary round playoffs, and it was the Islanders and the New York Rangers. And if you recall, that game went into overtime. Maloney scored late for New York to tie it, and then Kenny Morrow in overtime. Do you think of that as one of the great games you were ever a part of?
Well, I remember that one very well because I was on the ice when Maloney scored the tying goal, and I was just getting off the ice when Ken Morrow scored the winning goal. We've been involved in a lot of great hockey games. I can remember being stretched to the limit by the Penguins a couple of years before that, and we were able to win the game in overtime, a goal by John Tonelli. So we've been in a lot of exciting hockey games. Tonight's no different, and I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping we'll get the next one.
How is rookie head coach Terry Simpson through all of this?
He's nervous, or maybe more so than anybody else is, but he's keeping the guys calm. He's getting them to work their best, and you know, he's holding up well.
What a challenge to have to try and advance from this series, get one day off, and go into the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Do you think about that?
Well, it's no easy task playing in the Spectrum at any time, let alone after a tough, grueling series as this one has been. But you know, I think that whoever comes out of this series will be ready for Philadelphia, and I know I saw Mr. Keenan and his staff up there, and I'm sure they've been quite impressed with the two teams they've seen out there tonight.
Who does one of the great goal scorers of all time think is going to win this hockey game in overtime?
Well, I've seen Ken Morrow score a lot of overtime goals for us, and I'd like to pick Ken Morrow to score it for us again.
All right, Mike, I hope you're back in the lineup. Should you meet Philadelphia in the next round, good luck.
Thank you.
Mike Bossy of the New York Islanders, his team and the opposition embroiled in quite a Game 7 here in the Patrick Division semifinals. At the end of 3 periods of play, the score is all tied, Washington 2 and the New York Islanders 2. Our Stanley Cup playoff coverage